New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Hello, and welcome back to Global Focus today. I am your host, Reverend Dr. Sharri Johnson, and our guest today has come back at my request, and I know you're going to love everything she has to say. Reverend Dr. Michele Whittington wears a lot of hats. One of them is as Executive Director of the affiliated New Thought Network, and another one is called Unleash Your Life. Don't you love the idea of that? Let me just give you a little tiny bit of information about her. She has been involved in supporting individuals I love this, to take their feet off the brakes of their lives and embrace their dreams. And she does all kinds of things. She does public speaking engagements. She hosts ongoing women's circles. She offers classes on all kinds of topics, from becoming the rock star of your finances to sacred feminine sexuality. She presents all kinds of workshops and retreats. She does individual mentoring one-on-one, and that's what Unleash Your Life is about. And she's the executive director of the affiliated New Thought Network. This lady is just absolutely amazing. You're going to love her again if you were here before, and you're going to love her fresh right now. Please help me welcome Reverend Dr. Michele Whittington. Thank you so much for coming back.
You are very welcome. Thank you for the invitation to come back. I'm delighted to be here.
It's wonderful to have you. And I want to just kind of pick up where we left off and tell us what's, new and exciting in your life. Talk about Unleash Your Life. Talk about Anton. Talk about anything you want to talk about. Fire away.
Fire away. Well, all right. How long do I have? No, teasing.
I'll sit here all day. I got no problem with that.
Right. So about 5 years ago, I launched Unleash Your Life Consulting. I stepped away from pulpit ministry at that time. I was a New Thought religious science specifically. I am a religious science minister, but had a pulpit for 22 years, stepped away from that 5 years ago, and now have this business called Unleash Your Life, which, as Sharri said, Dr. Sharri said, is about helping people take the brakes off and live the life they love, which I believe we all deserve, to live a life that we love. So I just am so excited. I'm just as excited today about this work that I get to do as I was 5 years ago when I launched it. I did launch it with, I'm not going to say trepidation, but with a realization that I was stepping off a cliff. And I was thinking very much about a sign I have on my desk that says faith is, I'm paraphrasing here, but faith is stepping off a cliff and knowing either the ground will rise up to meet you or you will spread wings and fly. And so when I left the ministry, left a job basically and started out on my own, Sharri, Dr. Sharri and folks, I had no idea. I had no idea if it would work, if it would fly, if I would make it, if I, have to find another job, I didn't know. But it has been such an amazing journey of supporting people and being able to be creative. And, I can do whatever I want, which I love. So it's just really been an amazing journey that I, as I said a second ago, am as excited today to be on as I was the day I jumped off that cliff.
Well, you know what you remind me of? my favorite Indiana Jones movie. I think it was Temple of Doom. He is, being Indiana Jones, he's running down this tunnel in a mountain. And there's, of course, a beautiful woman scantily clad running behind him because she can't run as fast as he can. And they're being chased by this giant rock, which is rolling. And they're running to escape from the rock, and he comes to the edge of a cliff.
Yep.
And he can see that the tunnel continues on the other side of this chasm, but there's just chasm in there. And he hears his father, Sean Connery, oh, wow, be his father, says to him, just step off. And he goes, and his father says, just step off. And he goes, and he says, just step off. So he does. And of course, there's a bridge. It's an optical illusion. And he gets to the other side. Well, the girl didn't see any of this. So when she finally gets to the cliff, she stops. And he says, and he hollers at her, it's okay, there's a bridge. And she says, oh, there's not. She's scared. Finally, he says, wait. And he reaches down and he grabs a handful of sand. And he throws it out on the ground, and then she can see the bridge, and she runs across, and the rock gets stuck in the hole, and everybody lives happily ever after. You didn't even have a handful of sand, but you found the bridge.
I did find the bridge. Yeah. And I love that. I love that scene. I love that analogy. I haven't thought about it in a long time, but I have used that before. In the pulpit, I have shared that. That's beautiful. But yeah, that's what I did. I walked across that. Yeah. So what's up? One thing, well, there's so much up.
We'll start with Anton and tell us what's newest there, and then we'll go on from there.
Okay. So Anton is the affiliated New Thought Network, which is this beautiful organization that I've been a part of. Well, Anton is now 31 years old, and I have probably been a member for 27. Yeah, I'm going to say 27 of those years. So I was a member. I've been a member of the organization for that long. Obviously, I love it. And now 2 years ago, I became the executive director. So I love that I get to wear that hat and support now officially this beautiful organization that is for anybody, whatever role you serve in the world, whether you're a pulpit minister or an insurance salesman, it doesn't matter. If you follow New Thought teachings, these spiritual teachings that Dr. Sharri has folks on about every single every time she has a beautiful show. If you are part of that world, that thinking, Anton affiliated New Thought Network is a place for you. And we just have so many beautiful benefits to our members, and a community, and a connection, and an amazing retreat every year that hopefully you can be there live, because it's the best at Unity Village in Kansas City, but you can also be there virtually if coming in live doesn't work. And once a month we have a Thought Leader Thursday, which is free to anybody. You don't have to be a member. You don't have to be a member to come to the retreat either. But if you are, you get a discount, just so you know.
That's right.
But anyway, we have all these beautiful things. So antn.org. I don't think we've got that on the banner there, but which doesn't matter. But it's antn.org. If anyone who is watching right now has an interest in this really beautiful, supportive, loving, fun organization. I mean, Dr. Sharri's a member, so when I say fun, you get it.
I love Anton. It is a delight to my heart to know that I am a member. The first and I fell in love with Anton and with you the first time I heard somebody ask you what Anton was all about, and you said, "We say yes." That was all. We say yes, and I was hooked. I was just hooked.
Yeah, we really do. We say yes. We want to support our membership. And so you come to us with an idea, you want to do something, you want to create something. We're like, okay, let's figure out how we do this. And we do figure it out.
And it is, I've been to lots of conferences. College professor for 35 years and then became a minister. I've been to lots of conferences, and I've never been to a conference or retreat that was, I'll tell you what, I went to the Parliament of World Religions last year, and I would put Anton right up beside it because, well, here's the thing. Anton is less expensive than many other conferences, and the meals are included and they're wonderful. You know, I mean, it really is. It's like a big family reunion.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So thank you for everything that you do with Anton. I absolutely adore it.
Yeah, thank you. So do I. And one more thing about that conference, and I too was at the Parliament of World Religions, which was unbelievably amazing. And Anton is also unbelievably amazing. And at Unity Village, which is a destination, it was a bucket list item for me. And then Anton started having its conferences there, and now we have them there. Well, we have them scheduled for the next several years at least. And it is a place to go. It is a holy, holy, sacred place. You walk on those grounds and you just feel, don't you, Dr. Sharri? You just feel something profoundly holy about those
Yep.
grounds.
Yep.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
So one of the things that happened at the last conference that I particularly enjoyed was that we had a couple of musicians there who I'm sure that when they take their shirts off, wings unfurl. I mean, these two were just amazing. And they were Daniel Namad and Nemo Patel.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just overwhelmed. I bought all their CDs, every single one. And I play them in my car when I'm driving and wake up singing them in the morning. I asked each of them if they would be on this show, and they both said yes. I didn't expect them to, but they did. But you have gone even farther than that. Tell us about your big, exciting news.
Oh, my big, exciting news, which has been a journey, which I don't speak at churches regularly anymore because I don't have my own pulpit, but I do speak now and again. And believe me, this will be an entire Sunday talk, maybe a whole workshop. I don't know, but I'll give you the highlights of it. And by the way, Nemo and Daniel have created a number of music videos on YouTube, which I would highly recommend you Google Daniel Namad, Nahmod, and Nemo, Nimo, Patel, and see some of their videos. They are extraordinary. They are extraordinary musicians and collaborators, and their music videos are incredible. But so I did meet Nemo at the Anton retreat in Unity Village last October. And I got to know him fairly well because as the executive director, I was working with our speakers to get their contracts and their logistics and all. So he and I had this beautiful burgeoning relationship before the retreat started, and then got to know him better as the retreat unfolded. And at the end of the retreat, he called me aside and he said, "Hey, I want to invite you to something if you would be interested." He lives, by the way, at the Gandhi Ashram in India, in Ahmedabad, India. And he said, every year in January, a colleague of mine and I sponsor a leadership retreat, and it's invitation only. We reach out and invite people, and it is held at the Gandhi Ashram. And if you think you might be interested in coming, I would like to invite you. I'd like to send you the information so you can make a decision. So that took me aback just to have that invitation. It really humbled me. I get teary about thinking about just getting that invitation. Woo! So I'm not going to cry. Not gonna cry. All right. So, but I also was a bit terrified because going to India, to be totally frank, authentic, and honest, which I like to be, has never been on my radar in terms of my bucket list. Going to India scares me. I don't know why. There's, we can psycho and analyze me about why that is, but I've not wanted to go to India. I'm like, no. I've had people say, "Oh, you need to go to the Oneness Center." Need to. No, thank you. I'm good. I'm good. I don't need to go to India. So this would be going to a place that really does scare me, and going to a place by myself. And I am pretty dang independent. I'm very independent, and traveling across the world. It's a 22-hour journey by myself, arriving in a country that terrifies me and I don't know. Anyway, you get my point.
Yep.
So I had to, the first spiritual journey lesson on this journey, and man, has it been a journey, is I had to break through that fear. I had to sit with it. I wasn't sure if I was going to go. I had to sit with it. I had to be prayerful about it. I did a couple of meditative, contemplative practices that I use. And one of them, like the second time I did that, I got this full body awareness that this experience will be transformational for me, and I cannot not do it. And so after I had that experience, I reached back out and said, all right, I'm in. I'm in. Tell me what I need to do. And a lot of things happened, and I won't go into all of the details, but probably the biggest chunk of this that has been the biggest lesson. And by the way, I haven't gone yet. I leave this coming Saturday. So the real transformation hasn't even happened yet, but so much has happened in the journey to get to actually go. One of the things that you have to go to India is a visa. I didn't know that, but you do. You have to have a visa. And so the recommendation from Nemo and the other people putting this together was that you get an e-visa. It's the simplest thing. It's an online, meaning electronic visa. It's an online process, should be simple. It's for short term, and you can't even apply for this until 30 days in advance of your trip. So I'm leaving. Well, I'm actually arriving in India on the 15th of January. So I couldn't even apply until the 15th of December. But I probably postponed it a day or two because I still had some, a little nervousness about it. But nonetheless, I did apply. And I take full responsibility for this. I probably didn't check the right box. I should have checked as to why I was coming because I didn't thoroughly 100% read all the instructions that I was given. So note to self and anyone watching, if someone gives you instructions on how to do something, read them. Read them thoroughly. Pay attention. And we think that because of the box that I checked, we don't know for sure, but we think that because of the box I checked, I got rejected for that Indian visa. When the rejection came back, it didn't say why. It just said status of visa rejected. Oh, okay. Well, now what do we do? And now remember, we are now, I don't know, 25 days in advance of this trip, and the holidays are right upon us. So the recommendation from Nemo was, well, let's reapply for that. Check a different box. Check tourist box, which is the box you should have checked in the first place, but you didn't. Check tourist and reapply. But also you can apply for a paper visa through the Indian consulate in San Francisco, which is the closest to me. I'm in Phoenix. You can either go there and do it, or you can do it by mail. But let's try the e-visa first, the second time. Bottom line is, tried it the second time on the, it doesn't matter the dates. Anyway, we're moving forward here, getting closer to the holidays. I got rejected again. Got rejected again. So that didn't work. So now the only way to do it is to go through San Francisco. So I have to mail this very complicated packet, including, my friends, including mailing in this document right here, which terrified me to mail my passport. But that's what they required. So before I give you what all has happened, I will say that this, when I got rejected the first time and then the second time, I moved into a place of, you know what? If this is mine to do, I will get a visa. If it is not mine to do, I won't. And I am okay with whichever way it goes. And that wasn't just my brain trying to make me feel better, right? Sometimes we try to talk ourselves into believing something, right? And has anybody ever tried to talk yourself into
Oh,
believing
yeah.
what you don't really? I really did, at the heart of hearts, believe that I think I'm supposed to go. I feel like I'm supposed to go. But I also trust that that infinite intelligence that lives as me but is bigger than me might have a different idea. And that idea will only and always be for my highest good. I trust that. I've lived that. I just thought, well, I'm going to trust that here. So if I get the visa, I'm going. If I don't get the visa, I'm not going. I did check because I believe in doing things in our that's world of form that you need to do. And I said to myself, I will take every step I can possibly take to do this until a door closes and stays closed. But I did check to make sure I had refundable airline tickets, just to, because they're not inexpensive, and I do. I have refundable airline tickets that didn't need to be canceled for. I could cancel up to 24 hours in advance. So anyway, so I am on this. I'm going to go if I'm supposed to. I get a visa if I'm supposed to. If I don't, I don't. So I have to mail in this big packet, including this right here. And I sent it, and as I'm filling out all the documentation for this paper visa, they say, big bold letters, it takes at least 15 days and maybe up to 60 to process. Well, by the time now New Year's is coming and blah, 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 by the time I got the packet with this in the mail, it was January 2nd. I'm supposed to leave on January 13th. That is not 15 days now, is it? That is not 15 days. But as I said, I'm going to take every step I know to take. I'm going to walk the journey until there's no more step to take. And it was a step to send that in with this. So I did. Now, I sent it in. And I really said, when I put it in the overnight mail with the return overnight to me, I literally said, all right, God, I have now done everything I can do. And it is up to you. And I trust the outcome. So in 2 days, I got an email from the place where I sent this that said, your application has been processed. I got this on a week ago Friday. This very past Friday. Your application has been processed and your documentation is being returned in the mail overnight. I got it on Friday. Like, okay, tomorrow, Saturday, I'll know. But overnight mail does not include weekends. So it didn't come on Saturday. It didn't come till Monday. What is today? This is Tuesday, right?
This is Tuesday. Monday was yesterday.
It came yesterday. So I'm thinking, all right, I'll know. I'll open this envelope and I will know, am I going to India or not? And yep, I'm human. So I was a little nervous, excited, nervous. I opened the envelope, Sharri, and the only thing in the envelope is this. No documentation, no paperwork, no message, nothing. Just this. And so I think, what does this mean? I don't know what this means. And so, part of this journey has been in being able to live in the mystery. Being able to live in the mystery of, I don't know what the heck, I might have used a stronger word, is going on. Okay, so I sat with it and I thought, well, let me reach out. I do have a phone number for the place where this happened, and I got on the phone, talked to them, and The agent that I talked to said, he asked me 4 times, there's nothing else in the envelope besides your passport? Nope. Okay, well, I will put in a request for information, but it's going to take at least 24 hours to get that information, to get an answer back. Hung up the phone and I just sat and I went, all right, I think it's time for me to pull the plug and to say, I'm not going. And I needed to tell Nemo, I needed to tell the organization that invited me that I don't have a visa, because this is not a visa. This is my passport. And I was sad, a little disappointed, and continuing to just know that this is the right thing. So 100% surrender. I will tell you, yesterday afternoon, I was 100% surrendered. Key point. Key point. All right. So I had an intuitive hit not to cancel my airline until I actually communicated with Nemo, who I've been communicating with through this whole thing. He's been holding my hand this whole time. And he's in India, so it's 12 hours ahead. So I found out, I got this in the mail about 12:30, 1 o'clock yesterday. I texted him right away and said, hey, I didn't get a visa. All I got back was this. I guess I'm not coming. I'm not coming. Thank you, blah, blah, blah. Last night, about 6:30 p.m. my time, so 6:30 a.m. in India, he texts me and he says, Michele, look in
the passport. I'm sitting here going, open the blinking passport. Open it up.
Well, I actually did open it up, but I didn't dig through every single page. I didn't look at every page. And when I did,
visa.
There is my Indian visa right there. Good for 10 years. I didn't know. I didn't know to look there. But so I am going. I'm getting on a plane on Saturday morning, and honestly, even if that hadn't happened, the journey of learnings and growing and trust and the love, the support that I've gotten from Nemo and other folks in the organization who've been holding my hand through this, my tribe of, clients and friends and students who have walked this journey with me, it's just been amazing. And now I get to go.
Now you get to go.
I get to go.
Oh, I'm so excited. I can hardly wait till you get back to hear what happened.
I'll have to come back on your show.
Yes, you will. I've already got the calendar out.
Okay, good. Okay.
So
good. Yeah.
There are just a couple of other things you might want to mention. For instance,
yes,
you have a program that you did last year that you're doing again this year. And it's called Best Year Yet. And so this one is Best Year Yet 2.0. I love that 2.0 thing. That just tickles me so much. Tell us what that is and why we need to know that.
Well, I'm happy to tell you about it. And there is a correlation between something in that and this trip and journey that I just shared with you guys. So Best Year Yet, I launched it last year. I'm launching it again this year. Is a year-long program that involves workshops and coaching calls and one-on-one mentoring sessions with me for people to create the best year they've ever had, to get clear about what it is that they want in 8 main areas of life. What do they want to do, have, be, create, share, experience, give? However you want, whatever you want in your life, to get support from me and a tribe to do that. And I launched it last year, not knowing how it was going to go. Wasn't really sure. I love creating new stuff, so this was new. I kind of built that bridge, the Indiana Jones bridge. I kind of built that bridge as we were crossing it last year and creating the monthly workshops and things. And people, including me, had unbelievably amazing results. And yeah, in a year's time with 25 people had stuff happen in their lives too, challenges. But we had this beautiful tribe of people supporting us through those ups and downs and the bumps in the road. And one of the things that so we create what's called a heart map. It's like a vision board, but it's here. Actually, I have mine from last year. I'll show it to you all. It's right here. And you identify in the hearts of the major areas, and then you ID and put down the things you want to create. And I have stars on mine for the things that actually happened for me in 2023. So one of them that was on here was unexpected travel. Unexpected. Well, the opportunity to go to India happened last year. So
right.
I actually haven't put a star on that. I need to. But here's the thing. The little teaching, and then I'll go back and tell a little bit more about this program. What really matters. So yes, we all deserve to live a life we love and have the experiences that bring us joy and make our hearts sing and that, that light us up. We deserve to do that. But manifesting the thing, even if it's a trip to India, is not what's really important.
Nope.
What's really important is who we become in the process. How do we grow? How do we learn? How do we stretch? How do we show up differently in life in a more positive, uplifting experience, way? That's what really matters. So best year yet is, yes, it's about creating what it is we would love. But most importantly, it's about who do we become on that journey. And this journey, this Indian journey, whoa, has that been that for me.
So what I got to say is I think you need to change the name of your program, because it's not about the best year yet. It's about the best you yet.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I love that. The best you yet. Yeah, that's good.
That's wonderful.
You're good. You're good. Yeah.
Well, I do this. So this is what I do.
This is what I do. That's
so I have some questions. You've heard them before, but the answers will have changed. So I'm going to ask them again. There's only 4 of them, and you've already answered one of them. Yes, you'll come back. We'll do that one last. But the first one is, how does this new experience, this new adventure, how does that promote, encourage, enhance, explore conscious evolution?
So when you say this new experience, you mean
this trip to India. Everything that's gone into it and around it that's part of it.
Yeah. Well, it has already evolved my consciousness. And I'll talk to that in a second, but the other part of that is that I have a firm belief that the only way global consciousness evolves, like the consciousness of humankind, the only way that evolves is one person at a time. It's just one person at a time. So I want to do my part for that. And this leading up to from the invitation in October to today, talking to you guys right now, and yesterday, getting the final yes that I actually am going. And by the way, the other piece, and it's consciousness evolution as well, is that what an example of our good is right here waiting for us to just open our darn eyes to see. My visa was right in here the whole time I'm saying I'm not going. It's here. I just didn't see it.
Yep.
So it's always right here. It just might not look like you think it's going to look, so we don't see it. But yes, so this has evolved my consciousness, this whole journey, and I don't even know what's going to happen once I get there. I'm open to that. but it has evolved me in my level of trust, in my deepening, knowing that I am always and in all ways taken care of, and that there is an infinite intelligence that's got my back and that has my highest good in mind. And I can and do and will forever, even more than I ever have before, trust that.
Good, good. You give great answers. Okay, here's the next one. And it's of course sounds like the same question, but it's not. How does this wonderful, marvelous new adventure that you're experiencing and growing through, how does that contribute to, enhance, develop, unfold, discover world peace?
I love that. So this retreat that I'm going to, this leadership retreat, I don't really know exactly what's going to happen at it, but I know what's not going to happen. And I kind of know a little bit. And so this is the answer to your question. What's not going to happen at this retreat is we're not going to sit and listen to a lot of lectures about leadership, skills and leadership tools and techniques and the latest theory on leadership. It is not going to be that. It is going to be, like I said before, transformation happens one person at a time. It's going to be internal journeys for each one of us. 40 leaders from around the world are going to be there, making inner transformation to be greater servant leaders. How do we as leaders serve in greater and deeper ways? Coming from in here, not from somebody telling me I should do this, but from my own heart. So as I do that, servant leadership can only lead to greater peace, because servant leadership is about love. It's about caring. It's about giving. It's about, egoless service. That is what brings peace.
Okay. So here's the third one.
Yep.
Presuming that everything goes exactly the way you want it to go, every relationship, every activity, every interchange, every exchange, every encounter, every single thing goes exactly the way you want it to go. 10 years from now, what does Reverend Dr. Michele Whittington and Unleash Your Life look like?
Oh my gosh, Sharri, I don't remember that question before.
It was there.
I have no idea what I said. Well, Dr. Michele and Unleash Your Life they are still going to be serving in amazing ways and loving every moment of it. I plan to still be Anton's executive director. I intend to still be serving clients and helping women, mostly women, but men as well, live their best lives. I still plan to be creating. Okay, but I want to answer that question with one other thing that has nothing to do with Unleash Your Life, but only has
That's okay.
It only has to do with Michele. And okay, I'm going to say this. And I'm in a beautiful, sacred, holy relationship.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And please, Spirit, sooner than 10 years from now.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
But I'm open. I'm surrendered to that as well.
Good. All right. Well, I agree with all of that, because I want you to still be there too. That's important to me. So the fourth question, of course, is will you come back? And you already said you would. However, what I didn't tell you is that my calendar is booked until December 3rd.
Good for you. That's
so I'll plug you in for December 3rd of this year.
You
will have all kinds of new stuff to tell us by then.
I will, but actually, Sharri, and I know we don't want to schedule while we're on this call, but I will say something because it's very exciting. It is a bucket list thing for me that might be happening then, so I'm not sure I can come then. I am traveling to Memphis, and I think it's early December, with some friends of mine to go to Graceland. So here's a little side note about Michele. I am a gigantic, and have been since I was 5 years old, Elvis Presley fan. And I have never seen Graceland. So for crying out loud,
Then why don't we put you down for the 17th? That's the second half.
That should work. I'll be home from Graceland. I can talk all about that as well. Nothing.
And then we'll hear about Graceland too, because I've never seen it either, and I am also a giant Elvis fan. So I look forward to hearing about that too.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Now there's one last little question I ask, just because, for the sake of completeness. That's a mathematical term I learned when I was an undergrad. For the sake of completeness, is there anything that you want the folks who are listening to this to hear or know or experience that I have not asked you about?
Wow, you've been thorough, and you have just let me tell you all the things that are up for me right now. So I just feel, let me touch in one more time. I will just reiterate the beauty of Anton and the beauty of coming to the Anton retreat at Unity Village. I will just put an exclamation point on that. And if you're interested in learning about what I do, you can find unleashyourlife.us. I think we're good.
Okay.
I think we're
now
good.
Don't go away, but I want everybody to know next week we have another fabulous woman coming on. She's the executive director of the Science of Mind Archives and Library, Reverend Kathy Mastroianni. So don't miss it. She's a hoot and a half, and she can do the St. Francis prayer in Italian. Have a great time. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things.
On behalf of everyone at New Thought Media Network, thank you for being a member of our virtual family. Your financial contributions help share the New Thought message with people from around the world. Please visit and contribute at www.ntmedia.org/donate. New Thought Media Network, come be you. And please like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, peace and blessings.